They say pain is temporary. But what they never told you is that sometimes pain becomes a companion before it ever becomes a teacher. You're told to be strong, to smile through the tears, to keep moving forward like you're some kind of machine. But behind closed doors, when no one's watching, there are silent wars, broken spirits, and unanswered prayers. This is the side of growth they never write about in motivational books. What if I told you that growth often begins in the deepest, darkest valleys? That sometimes the version of yourself you've been waiting for is born from discomfort, not comfort. What they never told you about pain is that it doesn't just wound you, it carves space for something new, something deeper, something stronger. Let's talk about what really happens behind the scenes of personal growth. The part nobody tells you about, but everybody experiences. Growth is glorified in our culture. We see highlight reels of people's success, their glow-ups, their comebacks. But we rarely see the sleepless nights, the emotional breakdowns, the identity crises. No one talks about the fact that before the transformation, there's usually a complete unraveling. Growth doesn't come in a neat package. It's messy, unpredictable, and often painful. Pain, in its rawest form, is a revealer. It exposes your limits, your dependencies, your illusions. When life knocks the wind out of you, it also knocks out the lies you've believed about yourself, about others, about what really matters. Pain brings clarity, but that clarity comes at a cost. It forces you to let go of what you thought you needed, and that's terrifying. You're told to trust the process. But nobody warns you that the process might involve losing people you love, questioning your faith, and feeling like a stranger in your own skin. Growth feels good only in hindsight. In the moment, it feels like you're breaking. But what you're really doing is shedding layers of fear, pride, and insecurity that were never meant to stay. The caterpillar doesn't just grow wings. It dissolves inside a cocoon, completely unrecognizable, completely undone. And maybe that's what your pain is doing right now. Maybe you're in your own cocoon, feeling like your life is falling apart when it's actually being reformed. The beauty of growth is that it doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like falling backward, but it's not. It's preparation. One of the most painful aspects of growth is isolation. You might find yourself misunderstood, disconnected, or even abandoned. But solitude isn't always punishment. It's space. Space to think, to feel, to heal. In silence, we often discover truths that noise drowns out. You're not alone. You're just becoming. Pain teaches you what comfort never could. It teaches resilience, empathy, boundaries, and strength. The things that used to destroy you no longer hold the same power. Not because the pain got smaller, but because you got stronger. Real growth isn't about avoiding pain. It's about learning how to walk through it with purpose. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes growth feels like grieving. Grieving the person you used to be. Grieving the plans that didn't work out. Grieving a version of life that no longer fits you. It's okay to mourn what you're leaving behind while still moving toward what's ahead. Growth is bittersweet, but it's worth it. What they never told you about pain is that it's sacred. It's not the enemy. It's the mirror. It shows you who you really are and what you're really made of. If you lean in instead of running away, you'll find wisdom in the wounds. Not because pain is good, but because you are capable of turning it into something good. Don't be ashamed of your scars. Don't hide your journey. There are people who need to know that healing isn't linear, that strength isn't loud, and that growth sometimes looks like just surviving another day. Your story, raw and unedited, has the power to set someone else free. That's what pain can do when it's transformed. So if you're hurting right now, if you feel lost or like your life is falling apart, hold on. This isn't your end. This is your becoming. The pain is real, but so is your purpose. Growth is happening, even if you can't see it yet. You are not broken. You are breaking open, and there's a difference. We often wait until the pain is gone to begin again. But what if you didn't have to wait? What if growth isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning how to dance in the rain? The truth is, some of your most important chapters will be written in the middle of chaos. Your healing doesn't have to be perfect. Your strength doesn't have to be loud. Growth isn't a destination. It's a posture, a daily choice to rise even with trembling hands. And remember, not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. Growth sometimes means outgrowing places, people, and even versions of yourself. Let that be a sign you're evolving. Let your discomfort be confirmation that you're moving into new territory. Don't shrink to fit into spaces you've already outgrown. The pain is proof that you're stretching, not stuck. Keep going. One day, you'll look back and realize that the pain you thought would break you actually built you. That the nights you cried yourself to sleep were the same nights your spirit was being fortified. Growth rarely makes sense in the moment, but in time, it reveals its purpose. And when it does, you'll see that you didn't just survive. You transformed, not in spite of the pain, but because of it. If this message stirred something in you, don't let it end here. Subscribe to Echoes of Wisdom for more powerful reflections that speak to your soul, challenge your perspective, and remind you that you're never alone on your journey. Share this with someone who needs to know pain isn't the end. It's the beginning of becoming.